February is here and love is in the air. Unless you're single like me, then it's all about finding what video games you're going to be playing with all that free time and date money that you won't be spending. Hey there, I'm CGDannyB and I really like indie games and I like sharing them with you guys. And today I'm going to be showing you 15 upcoming indie games that you can play this month. Before we get started though, I'm pretty sure Cupid told me if you ever want to find true love, you gotta hit the like button. It was something about the accuracy of his bow being tethered to you hitting the like button, and honestly, I don't really know, but I have no reason to doubt Cupid. And now that you've done exactly what the flying baby said, let's look at some indie games. This visual novel match 3 game is all about casting spells to capture little spirits alongside your friends. Spirit Swap Lofi Beats the Match 3 2 is an action puzzle game meets narrative adventure where you play as Samar. As a young witch, her job is to swap spirits across the board so she can clear them out and stop the chaos that they're causing. And along the way, you meet up with some friends who are also dealing with their own spirit problems that you're gonna have to help them deal with. Because what are friends for? Players will compete in 1v1 puzzle games trying to defeat their opponents to complete each level, all while you vibe out to some lo-fi music. Then you could decorate your room with all the rewards that you earn from completing levels in the story mode. Then compete in local versus mode or endless mode to see how far you can go. Now, I've been playing Spirit Swap for review, and I really enjoyed my time with it. And you can hear more of my thoughts on this week's podcast when I give my full review. But you can experience this chill and stylish adventure when Spirit Swap releases on Steam and Xbox consoles starting February 3rd. Cadence is back, and this time, she's shredding out on her dope-ass guitar. From the team behind Crypt of the Necrodancer and Cadence of Hyrule, they're back with the next entry in the franchise, Rift of the Necrodancer. An all-new rhythm game where players will perform in musical combat against monsters as they're surging through the rift. Each monster you battle has their own unique mechanics that'll challenge your rhythm skills and reflexes to matching the music. Power through each track and take on the epic boss battles alongside some Rhythm Heaven-style minigames. And once you've mastered every song and every difficulty, why not try again on remix mode to keep things fresh? Or if you're feeling a bit more creative, you can create your own levels for others to play. If you think you've got the skills to pay the bills, then you could strum your way through Rift of the Necrodancer when it releases on Steam on February 5th. This game is all about packing up your car and taking a road trip like you've never taken before. And keep driving, you'll be picking up hitchhikers, working odd jobs, and keeping your vehicle up and running as you chart a course across the country to a dope festival. Set in the early 2000s, you've just bought your first car. And what better thing to do than take a long road trip while you're still young? In this procedurally generated management RPG, you'll travel the open road and use a turn-based system to maneuver through traffic and dig through your glove box for whatever you need to make it through your trip. And once you finish your first trip, why not start all over and find another way to reach your destination and see what other chaos you can get into. Prepare to buckle up and hit the open road when Keep Driving releases on February 6th for Steam. For fans of the game Castle Crashers, this new 3D beat 'em up may just be right up your alley. This goofy, cinematic, over-the-top 3D beat 'em up is Big Helmet Heroes. Players can immerse themselves in fantastical realms as they join these adorable knights on their adventures, either solo or in 2-player co-op. There will be 4 distinct classes to play as, like the Warrior, the Brute, and the Rogue, each coming with their own funny and whimsical weapons. This epic journey is chock full of beautiful visuals, top-notch animated cutscenes, and enjoyable combat to keep players invested in the adventure. Plus, I am a huge sucker for how adorable these characters look. So if you and a buddy are ready to smash some bad guys, then you can hop into Big Helmet Heroes when it releases on February 6th for Steam, Switch, PlayStation, and Xbox. Okay, so normally I don't cover demos in these videos, but for a game this cute, I have to make an exception. Is This Seat Taken is a logic puzzle game about making sure these adorably shaped characters are sitting in the seats of their dreams. Each character is hilariously particular about where they sit throughout their day, be that on the bus, at the restaurant, or whatever other shenanigans they could be getting into. Some will want to have a window seat, while others just want to make sure that the guy sitting next to them isn't super stinky. You'll take your time shuffling around all these characters to make sure everybody's happy. So for my people pleasers out there, this game's got you covered. Now we currently don't have a concrete date for the full release, but we do know that Is This Seat Taken is going to have their public demo available on February 10th for Steam, and that we can expect a full release to come to mobile as well. So be sure to wishlist the game and subscribe to this channel so you can find out when it'll be coming out. Take the chilling monochromatic style of noir films and smash it together with some Hotline Miami gameplay, and you've got Bullet Noir. Following the stories of 4 intertwined characters who are driven by their mutual desire to avenge their murdered mentor, Bullet Noir is a twin-stick shooter where every move counts and every bullet could be your last. Progress through the story to find out more about each character's motivations, as you play through the various levels that tell the story from each of their perspectives, all set in this dreary black and white city environment that's about to get a lot more red once you step foot into it. But you'll also end up revealing dark secrets and personal vendettas that further tie the 4 protagonists together. Revenge is the only path to redemption, and if you're up for the task, you can pick up Bullet Noir when it releases in early access on Steam starting on February 12th. We've all seen the absurd chaos of Jump King, a precision platformer that's all about missing your jump and falling all the way back to the bottom of the world. Super fun. Now imagine that chaos but with your friends. And Jump King Quest is here to deliver that fantasy for you. In this unhinged multiplayer RPG, players will have far more options available to them than just jumping. Introducing a brand new combat system, Jump King Quest gives players the opportunity to make new friends by battling alongside other players or turning on them immediately. Anyone can be a friend or foe on this climb. And just know, there are no game over screens here. If you fall, you're gonna have to live with that mistake and make your way all the way back to where you were. Jump King is not for the faint of heart, and it will surely have players ripping their hair out. Or if you're that kind of gamer, you're probably building an army of dorks who sit on the edge, stopping newcomers from climbing any higher. But if you know what you're getting into and you're up for the challenge, then you can jump into Jump King Quest when it releases on Steam in early access on February 12th. How would you feel about a Souls-like 3D platformer that's all about an adorable little slime? Well, Slime Heroes is just that. As the last slime around who's capable of saving your home from being consumed by corruption, you'll battle your way through difficult enemies with your own magical skills and weapon capabilities. As this little slime dude, you'll drag yourself across this super vibrant world to help save the ancient guardians from the plague affecting your home. The more progress you make, the more cool weapons and spells you'll unlock, so you can customize your kit to your own playstyle. Now, I played the demo for this game back during Steam Next Fest, and boy, did the final boss kick my teeth in over and over again. But it couldn't help but want to keep trying so I could show that jerk who's boss. But if you aren't sure you can take on this challenging journey alone, don't worry. You and a buddy can dive into it together as well. Just know you're both probably still gonna die a lot. But hopefully you can each make unique loadouts that benefit one another. So if you're ready to slime your way to victory, you can check out Slime Heroes when it releases on Steam and Xbox consoles starting on February 13th. Terry's back and he's coming to consoles. Early last year, we were given this stupidly hilarious open world adventure, Tiny Terry's Turbo Trip. A game all about our hero Terry trying to get a car so he can drive himself to the moon. But unfortunately, the stock model doesn't quite have the horsepower he needs to accomplish that. So your task is to explore the city, make new friends, do random stuff for him, and use the rewards that you get to soup up your car and blast off to where no Terry has gone before. Plus you get to catch bugs, dig holes, and find a bunch of cool hats along the way. I reviewed Tiny Terry's Turbo Trip last year, and I may or may not be quoted in an upcoming Accolades trailer, but I loved my time in this world. And I'm very excited at the idea of diving back into it for that glorious platinum trophy. So if you're trying to find yourself something silly to hold you off till GTA 6 takes over the world, I highly recommend you check out Tiny Terry's Turbo Trip when it drops on Switch and PlayStation on February 13th. And if you can't wait that long to play, the game is already on Steam for you to play right now. This charmingly dark and minimalist city builder is all about building shelters to protect your people from the shadows. Welcome to Dawnfolk, a pixel art strategy roguelike where you become the ruler of a kingdom that's been lost to the shadows. After discovering the mythical creature Lura, yes, I can only find robots pronouncing this for me, so it's gonna sound weird. It's up to you to decide what kind of ruler you're gonna be. Set out to rebuild your realm as you explore an uncharted medieval fantasy world where you'll have to make some important decisions. Set out to rebuild your realm as you explore an uncharted medieval fantasy world where you'll have to make some important decisions. Be that ignoring natural disasters or just handling moral conundrums, your decisions are going to affect the way your city thrives. The developer is well aware that we don't all have hundreds of hours to dedicate to running another life, so they set out to make an accessible and easy to understand game that you can drop in and enjoy yourself whenever you have the time to do so. So if you're ready to join your little fireball friend in running a new kingdom, you can check out Dawnfolk when it releases on Steam starting on February 13th. Or if you like to give the game a try before you buy, there's also a free demo as well. For fans of the Coffee Talk games, the creator's next adventure is a slice of life story about love, loss, and finding your way forward. In AfterLove EP, you'll play as Rama, a young musician who's struggling to find his way forward after the loss of his girlfriend. AfterLove EP is a blend of visual novel, narrative adventure, and rhythm game that's sure to tug at your heartstrings as you witness the tale of a man neglecting his music, his mental health, and even the relationships of friends that he still has around him. And with a make it or break it gig just around the corner, Rama needs to get serious about being a part of this band, or else he's gonna get left behind. Roam around the capital of Indonesia as you help Rama find himself again, all while hearing the loving voice of his girlfriend trapped inside of his head. Decide which relationships you want to fix, and potentially which ones you want to pursue romantically. So if you're feeling like living out an emotional adventure for Valentine's Day this year, you can play AfterLove EP when it releases on Steam, Switch, PlayStation, and Xbox on February 14th. The next tale from the creators of the original Life is Strange starts this month, and needless to say, I'm insanely excited for it. Lost Records Bloom and Rage is a narrative adventure following the story of 4 high school girls and their friendship that spawns over the summer break. We all know in a Don't Nod game, nothing's gotta be normal. These girls are faced with mysterious events that are bound to change them forever. Exploring themes of identity, rebellion, and friendship, you'll be filming your summertime adventures and creating memories that'll last a lifetime. But jump ahead 27 years, and now it's time to confront the deep dark secrets that you all agreed to never talk about again. If there's one thing I can take away from the Life is Strange team, is that the vibe is always there. From the visual style and music to the story that's sure to have some surprises along the way. And if you're excited to see what chaos takes place during the summer of '95, then you can check out the first episode of Lost Records, Bloom, when it releases on February 18th for Steam, PlayStation, and Xbox. Then be sure to stick around for part 2, Rage, when it drops in April of this year. I hope you didn't have anything to do this year, because Die in the Dungeon is about to ruin any productivity that you thought you had. Die in the Dungeon is a turn-based roguelike strategy game about some frogs roaming around the dungeons, rolling dice and fighting bugs. But this isn't just about some simple math. It's about which die you roll and what special powers they hold. Sometimes you'll roll dice purely to deal damage, but other times you want to gain shield to defend yourself or buff yourself to increase your stats. But that's not all. You also have to organize the die on the board so that they align properly to give you the most bang for your buck. Die in the Dungeon used to be a Flash game a few years back, and once the demo had released on Steam, I became obsessed. I never actually beat a run, but I know I'm going to at least try to when this game officially comes out. So good luck with those dice rolls, because you're gonna need it when Die in the Dungeon releases on Steam on February 21st. Now, February currently has a bunch of games scheduled to drop this month with no concrete release dates yet, so these last few are sort of in a mystery pile for now. This heart-pounding co-op PvP game is about to either have you in stitches or finding yourself in an early grave. This is Midnight Murder Club. Armed with just a flashlight and your trusty revolver, you'll compete against your friends in what's essentially Tag in the Dark, but with guns. Using proximity chat, something that unanimously everybody loves, you'll explore a dark mansion where a simple action of turning on your flashlight might just get you killed. Because if you can see them, they more than likely can see you too. Smooth talk your way out of getting blasted by your friends, or just sit in the corner of a dark room waiting to hear anyone else scream, laugh, or run past you. And with the mansion chock full of random traps and weapons you can use against your opponents, any number of random things can go down. So get ready to gather your friends for a rousing game of who's gonna get shot in the dark when Midnight Murder Club releases on Steam in early access sometime in February. Welcome to the escape room that you can never escape. Trust me, the developer said so. Welcome to Escapen't, a first-person atmospheric puzzle game that's basically a never-ending escape room. Every puzzle is said to be a masterpiece of genius that'll have you scratching your tiny little heads, desperately trying to make sense of a world far too complex for your limited intellect. Now, I didn't say all that. That's literally on the Steam page. As you aim to solve all the puzzles that you can, you'll be guided by whoever it is that invented this place through the intercom. All while you're meeting some strange talking spiders and drinking enough coffee to make your heart explode. Your one and only goal is to solve all the puzzles until you reach the end. If there is an end. Now, I'm a sucker for a good escape room game, and this one seems to be hiding some crazy secrets in its walls. So I can't lie, I'm intrigued. And if you are as well, we can expect Escapen't to release sometime this month. And with no date, the best way to know is to wishlist the game so you can have an idea of when that could be. There you have it, 15 upcoming indie games that you can play this February. Now be sure to leave me a comment and let me know if I missed any upcoming indie games that you're excited for this month. That way I can add them to my wish list. And if you want to stay up to date on all the dope indie games that you can play, as well as the news, reviews, and whatever I choose, you're going to want to subscribe so you don't miss any of the upcoming content on the channel. Now if you'll excuse me, it's Single Boy Gaming Hours in here, so shoo, get lost. I want to play my games.